And welcome back to this week's episode of the Broken Kid Podcast. If it looks like I'm wearing the same shirt from the last episode, it's because I am and I don't have time to change, or I just don't want to. And I need to shower too, even though I just showered. It's just hot. It's hot over here in Arizona. But that being said, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite, most underrated boy bands. And you might be thinking, well, how is it underrated if it sold so many tours? And the question to that is, well, it's underrated. Something can garner a lot of attention, but it doesn't mean that it's truly appreciated. Because the band that I'm talking about is no other than One Direction. And I'm not going to give much of an in-depth history, because we all know who they are. If you don't, then you've been living under a rock. But I just wanted to talk about how good they are and how awesome they are, and pretty much how underrated they are, like I said. Because a lot of people look at these, and they're not a conventional boy band, you know? And in the sense that they don't dance, they don't wear the same outfit. They just decided not to do that. And, of course, it was sad when they started to begin to split in 2015. And then, of course, it all started with Zayn Malik. He had his own choices. And also, being in fame is always scary because you just don't know how you're going to react to it, how much fame you're going to get. And I've seen interviews where, unfortunately, Liam Payne was talking about how he underestimated how much potential and influence the band was going to have. And when you're in that position and then you get thrown into fame, you have to deal with fame in a very abrupt, urgent fashion. You're thrusted into the limelight, and most people who do that, we're lucky that we're just ordinary people and that we still have our privacy. For them, on the other hand, it gets taken away. And you might say, well, that's the life that they wanted, but you can never truly anticipate how quick something is going to happen. Let me pick up my dog. Come on, kiddo. You can never truly anticipate how quick it's going to happen. And because of that, it's really stressful. But, it makes you question, were all the great songs worth what was lost for these kids, all the success they had? And you start to think, when they started to become solo acts, they attempted to make their own careers. And Zayn Malik had success, and then Harry Styles is the one that's still ongoingly prominent. And there's also, Louis Tomlinson and Liam Payne. They had their singles, but, it's very easy to just say that they fell into drugs and just shrug them off, I think we need to pay more respect to One Direction. They were a phenomenon, a one of a kind. And the reason I say this is because as much as I don't like to listen to them, because it reminds me of a much happier time that feels like I can't get a grasp on, and this is me being honest and sincere, I heard I feel like I really do, I like their songs, and the songs that I'm going to bring up are Fireproof and, oh damn, I forgot, No Control. These are kind of like lesser known songs. They're not like the perfect, like the song named Perfect or Drag Me Down or What Makes You Beautiful. All of those are great songs. These are kind of the more ballad type songs, I would say, poppy ballad. And when I mean poppy, I mean no disrespect to them. They were able to just mix things in a way that were just great, or they were able to execute things in a fashion that was unlike no other. And I've even heard them compared to like the same influence that the Beatles had, of course in a different genre of music, but they had influence for sure. And they, so as they started in the UK, they started to spread over to the Australia lands, and then somewhere along the line they started to reach the USA, or the US, I should say. Don't want to sound too patriotic, especially with everything that's going on, but don't want to sound too patriotic, but it was just an amazing execution that they were able to reach so much. And again, is it worth it? Based on, I think you have to save face, as they say in Hollywood, and you can't say that you wish you would have done things differently, because wouldn't it be nice to be able to do what we want to do creatively and still touch people and potentially make money, lots of money, and be lucrative while still having our anonymity and privacy? It just doesn't work that way. If you want to reach people, you have to give up something, and that's something that that's the ethos of the story for One Direction. But these are just beautiful songs, and I think about them, and it just makes me think about the great times. And I just wanted to thank One Direction for this. I almost think Big Time Rush. One Direction. One Direction. This is embarrassing. I wanted to thank One Direction for everything that they did. And this is me logging off for this episode. See you next week. Thank you.
And welcome back to this week's episode of the Broken Kid Podcast. If the setup looks a little different, then it's because it is, and you're not hallucinating. But, to get straight to the point, I don't like to ask for things, but I'm in a competition, and it's for Halloween, and there's a link below. I'm going to keep it pretty short and simple. All you have to do is click the link, and if you have a Facebook account, you can go ahead and just do a simple vote. It takes about 30 seconds. So maybe this is catering to the wrong people. I should be catering to your grandma or your aunts and uncles who do have Facebook. But if you do have it, go ahead and click the link below. And it's pretty much just a contest, a little contest where you could, win a few prizes. But it's for the face of Halloween. And I'm a big fan of Halloween. And if you would like to do that, go ahead and feel free to check out the profile. There's a few pictures up there. I want to upload more. But if you feel like it's beckoning you to simply just do a simple thing, I would greatly appreciate it. And that's all I'm asking. And if you don't want to, that's totally fine. But we're gonna go to the normal production in a few days where I'm gonna be uploading normal videos. And I just wanted to throw that opportunity out there. And to anybody who does vote, I appreciate it. And I appreciate your support.